HighGuard. What is it? Well, aside from being Jeff Keighley's favorite game...
Welcome to HighGuard.
And also a game that doesn't need a large player base, which is good, because, In all seriousness, forget all these mentions of it being a one-of-a-kind game, a unique experience unlike any you've ever seen before. It's a MOBA, just one that, forgot to add mobs. Each team has a base on the opposite end of a map, one divided into essentially 3 lanes. Each match starts with gathering, then pushing the enemy core, or in this case, base. And that's not bad as far as inspiration goes. Aside from Epic Games' Paragon, I don't think I've ever seen a shooter-focused MOBA. HighGuard is not a bad game per se, but it has a real odd pace to it. Each side has their own loot, weapons, shield, etc., and their own crystal rocks that you can mine for currency. Thus, unlike a MOBA, where the early game is all about farming mobs and taking pot shots at the enemy team in the hopes of securing an early kill to get ahead, the opening minutes of a HighGuard game is all about, well, farming. You run around the rather empty map, cracking open loot boxes, secure weapons, shields, all that. But unlike said early game of a MOBA, here there's nothing that incentivizes early game conflict. That's not necessarily a negative, just because it's a shooter doesn't mean you need to be shooting all the time 24/7. But for a game pitched as a high-octane PvP shooter, spending 2 or 3 minutes at the start of each round just mining rocks and shit? Well, it's a peaceful life, I guess.
But farming? Really? Man of your talents? It's a peaceful life.
You can, of course, venture over to the enemy, but you don't gain currency from killing them. You gain it from farming rocks, which are mostly located right next to the shop that you see them in, making it feel like pointless busy work without thought or risk, rather than something rewarding and or daring that'll put you ahead of the enemy. After that, Excalibur spawns. It's a big glowing sword somewhere at the intersection of a lane. You fight over it, and I have to say the shooting, it's alright, it's decent. Some weapons feel better than others, of course, but I'm not a fan of the feedback of actually hitting someone. It feels rather weightless. And I'm not sold on the tone either. You'll blow someone's head off and listen to them scream, and meanwhile Jacob from Borderlands just sits there in his shop with his stuffed, dead-eyed Furby toy asking,
"You buying?"
Soon as someone gets the sword, the timer starts. Do nothing for a bit and sudden death will kick in. No more respawns. And this part of the game kind of confuses me as well. Marketing for the game likes to claim they're doubling down on fun, but there's barely any of that hectic push and pull of games like, I don't know, Marvel Rivals, where you're going back and forth either slowly gaining ground or losing it. Instead, here's how it works. Each base has a health bar of 100. Your goal is to bring Excalibur to the enemy's base and use it to summon a siege tower. Doing so will remove 30 health from the base's health bar. Once inside, you can blow up generators that'll further deplete the health bar, either by some or kill the base outright if you go for the main heart, so to speak. But if you trigger siege and you don't manage to blow up any generators or anything like that, your base will also lose 30 health, meaning you can do everything right and one bad push will get you punished just the same. Not fun. But going back to the whole push and pull, when you run out of lives battling for Excalibur, whichever side wins auto-triggers the siege. And so what I found was the easiest way to ensure victory was to simply let the enemy take the sword. They're then forced to push your base, and since it's way easier to defend than to attack, you can kill them as they come charging, wipe them out and auto-trigger a siege on their base. They don't even get a chance to stop you since, well, there are no spawns. Not fun. Something I do find funny though? Steam page touts siege stealth as an option, and sure, yeah, certain wardens can go invisible, but as soon as you enter the enemy base, a little text screen at the top will say there's an enemy inside. As soon as you plant a bomb, you'll be well alerted. Balance-wise, that makes perfect sense. I just don't know why stealth isn't mentioned as a feature, though. But, like I said, HighGuard isn't a bad shooter per se. It has blurry textures, so performance, the dips when people start spamming abilities, which in a hero shooter happens a lot, so might want to look into that. But above all, here's what I don't get. HighGuard was pitched as a new breed of shooter.
Here we go. Bringing the heat.
Uniqueness, like you've never seen it before. But why does everybody want to be unique rather than competent? Like I said, HighGuard isn't a bad game per se, but pitching itself as something you've never seen before when each and every mechanic that it offers has been done and been seen before will do nothing but shoot yourself in the foot. Arc Raiders is not a unique game. What it is an extremely competent and accessible extraction shooter in a genre that's previously been adverse to accessibility. That is its strength, and that has carried it to heights unseen in its particular genre. It has somewhat unique systems under the hood, sure, well, with physics-based AI and all that.
Alright, that's some fucking horse shit.
But rather than pitch itself as something you never seen before, it's pitched as more of the thing you already love, and in some cases, better than that thing you already love. And look, striving to be unique, that's great. We need visionaries in this industry, we do. But when your game feels like a piss-poor mashup of so-and-so systems slapped with an aesthetic that I can only best describe as wanting desperate to be cool, it doesn't come across as unique. It just feels boring. I mean, for fuck's sake, the director of the game said they could have made a better trailer. One that wasn't so focused on entertaining the audience, but rather explaining what the game is. This isn't World of Warcraft. Shouldn't entertainment and gameplay be one and the same? Now, that's not to say you can't have fun with the game, getting a couple of friends to hop on with you and gunning down some hapless enemy team whilst grinding 3 different currencies, all so you can afford that sweet, sweet muscle mum in the battle pass. It's an alright time. But soon as you realize there's no real progression aside from what's in the current battle pass, every mount already unlocked, every gun available at the start and upgraded in the world, I'm left with the feeling like I've already seen all the game has to offer from the first to second match. I haven't seen every map, of course, nor have I seen every blurry-ass 720p rendered highlight of a base layout I can pick, and that's fine. Not great for a live service game, but then not every game has to be a forever game. If HighGuard does become that for someone, great. Awesome. I hope you're having fun. I also hope the game never gets small enough that you start to encounter the same people over and over, and if you do, I hope you're better than them. That way, you're having fun, and they aren't. And that's what PvP is all about, isn't it? Look, these are all just my opinions, and they're neither wrong nor right, and this next complaint is more so directed at the industry rather than HighGuard itself. But I am so tired of every new live service game bending over backwards to sell itself as this expansive, future-proof thing. Chapter 1, Episode 1, new maps, new heroes, new loot each and every single month. Gamers are hungry. I know. Like, I know I personally mark the release of every new Gooner skin added to Marvel Rivals, because if I'm not consuming, what's the point of life? But every game does this. They promise you the moon and back, and for all but a few, this becomes a false promise, and in some cases a detriment to themselves, because they become so busy with the promise of future greatness that they forget to make the game great now rather than in 2035. If HighGuard wants to stick around, I think it'll need to look at its core systems and listen to feedback rather than claim the internet is gonna internet. It has a solid pedigree behind it, that's for sure, and I hope it'll turn out great. As it stands, it didn't grab me, but hey, maybe it'll be for you. No harm in trying, it's free after all. Thank God for that. Anyway, this was my first ever proper video game review, so I hope you liked it. If not, that's fine, I'm not your dad, but I'm hurt and a bit sad if I'm being honest. If this video gets 10k views, a friend of mine and my brother both promised to join me for a game of HighGuard, so let's aim for 10k, eh? Thank you for your time.